welcome back to our channel. Today we are discussing the scenario based interview question for AWS Solution Architect. You can download the complete list of scenario based questions from the link provided in the description. Let's understand the scenario first. You are tasked with designing a highly secure and compliant architecture for a financial services application that processes sensitive customer information. The application currently runs on premises and the company wants to migrate it to AWS while ensuring strict security controls, compliance with industry regulations, and minimal impact on performance. Now, focus on the requirement. Our requirement here is achieve regulatory compliance such as PCI DSS and GDPR for handling financial and personal data, implement strong encryption and access controls to protect sensitive information, ensure high availability and disaster recovery capabilities, minimize latency and optimize performance for real-time financial transaction. As a AWS solution architect, how should you approach this? Here are the below components you should select. First, start with complaints and regulatory measures. Identify and document regulatory requirements such as PCI DSS, GDPR, and any industry specific standards. Use AWS Artifact to access AWS complaints reports and certifications. Implement AWS config rules to continuously monitor and enforce complaints. Next, network security. Utilize Amazon Virtual Private Cloud VPC to create isolated network environments. Implement network access control list (NACLs) and security groups to control inbound and outbound traffic. Use AWS Direct Connect or AWS VPN for secure and dedicated connections to on-premises infrastructure. Next, data encryption. Enable encryption at rest for data stored in Amazon S3 using server-side encryption. Implement Amazon RDS with encryption for the database layer. Use AWS Key Management Service (KMS) for managing encryption keys. Utilize AWS Cloud HSM for hardware-based key storage and cryptographic operations. Next, access controls. Implement fine-grained access controls using AWS IAM to manage user and application permissions. Enforce multi-factor authentication (MFA) for enhanced user authentication. Leverage AWS organizations to centrally manage and govern multiple AWS accounts. Availability and disaster recovery. Deploy the application across multiple availability zones (AZs) for high availability. Use AWS Elastic Load Balancing (ELB) to distribute traffic across instances in different AZs. Implement automated backups and snapshots for critical data. Set up cross-region replication for disaster recovery purposes. Next, performance optimization. Utilize AWS Global Accelerator to optimize the routing of traffic for low latency and high performance access. Implement Amazon CloudFront for content delivery and caching to reduce latency. Use AWS Lambda for serverless computing to offload non-critical tasks and optimize resource utilization. Next, audit and monitoring. Enable AWS CloudTrail for auditing API calls and changes to resources. Implement AWS CloudWatch for real-time monitoring and set up alarms for security events. Utilize AWS Config for tracking changes to the infrastructure and complaints assessments. Incident response and forensics. Develop an incident response plan and perform regular drills. Use AWS services such as AWS Security Hub and Amazon Guard Duty for threat detection. Implement AWS WAF for web application firewall protection. This architecture ensures a highly secure, compliant, and performant environment for a financial services application on AWS. It addresses regulatory requirements, data encryption, access controls, disaster recovery, and monitoring. Adjustments can be made based on specific compliance standards and organizational policies. If you are preparing any AWS based certification, you can download the complete list of valid, tried, and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description. Thank you.